Hey everybody, welcome to Friday Night Live with Lucky Dice Live, brother. On Friday night, how about that one? I'm a little bit behind, as you know. I think I saw some comments in the that was in the Auxxit. I was actually here on time, and then when I got to the front door, I realized I didn't have something, and I had to set everything down and run back home real quick. Caused about a 15-minute delay. Apologize for that. I am solo tonight. All Nate fans are going to be disappointed, and you're probably going to be like, "Oh my God, I'd have a whole night now without Nate." But he's off doing things up in Pennsylvania. I think it was his grandfather that died, and he's helping them deal with some stuff up there, moving stuff around and everything. I believe that's what it is. But anyway, he'll be back, I think, next week. I can't say for sure. I don't remember if he told me it was 1 or 2 weeks. But for now, it's just me, and that's just the way it is. You're going to have to put up with me solo tonight. I do have a few things to talk about. I also can take some live calls. If somebody would like to make a live call, I'm going to post this in. I wonder if I should post it on YouTube. I think that's what I'd do. I'll post a phone number. Let me know you're calling. I might ignore you if I don't know you're calling, but no, just I'm gonna post the number, and you guys, if you want to call in, you can. Give me 1 second. There we go. Maybe I can't post it in here. Yeah, we can. Top chat, live chat. There we go. And I believe, if I'm right, when I post here, live chat. I've never actually used YouTube, this part that I'm doing before. Live chat. Where do you actually post? We got top chat, got live chat. Okay, I guess I can't post there. Reactions, pop out chat. What is that? Pop out chat. Let me see if I can post on that. Okay, I can see now that that's posting, that Restream posts in here. So let's go back to Restream where I was, and I'll put a phone number up. And if you guys want, you should be able to view that everywhere except for Auxxit. And I'll post the number in there too in just a second. So hold on, and Restream. And here's the phone number. If you guys this is a Google number that if you want to post, give me just a second. 513-9667. All right, everybody. If you want to talk about some HeroClix, you got something on your mind, you got something that, if you have some comments about what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, call in and we'll talk. I'll take it. We'll put you on live. So things I want to talk about. We'll start off with the Rock Cup. Give you a status of where we're at and what I've been waiting for. I got a pretty good idea of the things that are going to be at the Rock Cup, and they're as far as pricing and stuff. The only reason we haven't put the itinerary out is because some of the stuff that I have planning. I made the itinerary up months ago, submitted it for Scott to look at. He likes it. And I submitted it to WizKids. They liked it, and then all they had to do is get it approved by upper management, and then they had to put figures. They had to assign pricing to each event. I know the guy personally that did that. He took the spreadsheet that we had from last year that he and I worked together on, and he was told to match or make it. Hey, Nicole. He was told to make the pricing as good or better, and I know that his intent was to make it better. So we should have better things this year at the Cup than we did last year. I know there's some new things that we're gonna be talking about eventually that nobody's ever seen before that will be at the Cup. First opportunities to get some things. I know our auction I'm assured it's gonna be as good or better than it ever has been. Um, the events, what I've got planned is absolutely, um, it's better than it was. I believe I can give you a little bit of an outline. We'll be doing the Wednesday night welcome event. Thursday, we had a regional. I'm trying to replace the regional with something better, um, that I think everybody's going to be very excited about. And I know it's been approved, but I'm not saying anything until it actually has happened. I will say that it's a sealed event versus a constructed event, which I also know that Friday I think we did the Scott Porter event on Saturday and we did teams on Friday. So teams will be what we've done before. The format's not locked down on that. Scott's got a little bit of say so in that, so I'm going to talk to him about doing that. But it'd be very similar to what we've always done. It'd be some kind of constructed event with. I don't know if it's going to be Silver Age or Modern Age. That's what I don't know, and that will be we will have that up pretty soon. I know that there's going to be the Scott Porter event, another sealed event. Scott Porter versus the World. I believe that's going to be on Saturday. I know the finals for the Rock Cup Silver Age World Championship will be on Sunday. And I know we're doing a special welcome event that's going to be on Saturday and not a welcome event, but a new player event. People that have not played or played very little. So if you got family members and stuff like that, there's going to be an event on Saturday that they can participate in that I designed to teach new people how to play, and it's a very easy. It's how I've taught HeroClix in the past, and I think that I hope that people participate in this, and I hope that people look at this format. It's a very good way, in my opinion, to get people to play. It's not very complicated, and it gets people rolling dice and playing each other right off the bat. It's very simple. So we'll have that going on Saturday. We also do have the VIG package that we're going to be offering. I don't know. I only know part of what it's going to include. I don't have a price yet on it. But the VIG package will be for the entire week, and it will allow you to play VR games all week, the entire time. These games are normally $25 an hour, so you're going to be getting 5 days worth of video VR playing. And trust me when I tell you that that these games are really, really nice. It's stuff that you can play perhaps when you got a break from HeroClix or in between matches, or maybe you've got family members, because I want to make it I ought to change the name from VIG to VIF, very important family, because I may do that. It kind of makes sense to me. I think I'll do that. I think it's going to be a VIF instead of a VIG. And a VIF, and the reason is we're stressed. This event always talks about family, and it always we always try to. The whole event in Huntington's is all about family, and by buying the package, you're able to. Everybody in your family is allowed to use it. It's not just for you. So if you bring a wife or a kid or somebody like that, they will get the ability to participate and play in the VRs also, and so that gives, people like to bring their family sometimes, and they want to play clicks, and they get worried about, well, what's she going to do? What's he going to do? What's my son going to do? He doesn't really want to stand there. He's not participating, or it could even be a situation where you get knocked out of a tournament and you want to take a break and not play HeroClix. This allows you to play really cool VR games. There's a bunch of different ones. There's motorcycles there. There's a room where you all compete against each other in various games. There's computers everywhere. It's really, really cool. I think you guys are gonna really like it. But even if you didn't get that, just the value of what we will put in the package uh, will exceed um, what you will exceed the amount that you pay. You're going to be very happy. I'm still waiting on a few things to be able to announce that as soon. And I think that we will be announcing the itinerary probably, I would say for sure within 2 weeks, and I think within a week. And when I by the end of next week, I think that that will go forward, and you will see the itinerary, and we'll start seeing everything, and we'll start pushing it with Scott Porter videos and everything else. So it's coming, guys. Hey, Dennis, I know that I'd like to have had it up by now. I mean, a lot of you guys are maybe not old timers with rock or with HeroClix, but those of that, rock has been around now for 10 years. And, it's kind of crazy that we've been around over 2013 or 2014 was our first year. So it's over 10 years. There's even some 2014 dice floating around. And I think we started it in 2000. I don't know if it was 2014 or 2013. But if you guys followed and followed us and how we changed, we started off at Dragon Con. We went from Dragon Con to having our own hotel and events at the hotel in Georgia, to Lucky Dice Cafe. When I bought it, it's starting to host the events, and frankly, we outgrew Lucky Dice Cafe last year, and this venue's a little bit bigger than when I had. There's a little bit more space. I don't know where we'll go next year, but I don't know if we'll be back there or be somewhere else. But in either case, we do have. It's grown. But if you go back, the point I was trying to make, if you go back years ago, I had the dates and in the itinerary and everything locked up close to a year, sometimes 10 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. I had all that laid out, and we just edited it a little bit that far in advance. And the problem is that this is not. There's other people that are partnered with the Rock Cup now, where it was just us. I did have TCG Player at one time, being the sponsor, but they pretty much, I said, this is what I'm doing, and it's fine. And then I went out and we gained prizing and stuff to put in the events. But I had complete control of all of that. Now I've got Scott and I've got WizKids. I've got partners, which I'm not complaining about. I'm actually very gracious for. Scott, I don't think he would be ready a year in advance, but he would probably have loved for me and him to have planned this out 6 months ago. I know for a fact that he was contacting WizKids and trying to get the ball rolling back in October. WizKids is always been a little slow. They like to be sure about anything that they they dot their I's and cross their T's, and they want to make sure that they don't say something or do something. They want to make sure that they are going to have all the things in place before they announce something and before they say something. That added to the fact that there's been incredible management restructure at WizKids in the last months. Everything from the president of WizKids leaving the company at the first of the year, and bringing in new people and restructuring the way they do things, and new people being given new jobs that didn't even exist before. And then trying to get all of those jobs working together and as a team, it's slowed things down quite a bit. That being said, they've never hesitated to say that we're on board or we're helping you. It's just slow, okay? And I'm generally not a slow guy. I like to make decisions and do things right away. And I've learned dealing with this, and when you've got partners like that, you just have to sometimes just sit back and drink a beer and let it happen. And but at some points I do like, okay, guys, we got to get up, we got to get going, we got to do things. And anyway, bottom line is it's all coming. I think that you'll see some posts very, very soon. I'm excited about those, and just be on the lookout. I know people are. I know people. Some people have already made their plans, and they've given a leap of faith based on our past. When I'm knowing that it's going to be great, and other people are waiting to see all the details about what they want to do. I'm going to tell you guys that you want to be there from Wednesday to Sunday. There is something cool going on every day, everything from the welcome event on Wednesday night to the team events, to the sealed events, to the auction, to the finals. You're going to want to be there. You don't want to miss a day. So if you are able to be there the whole time, you should. That's what I will tell you. All right, now, so a few things that happened this past week that I thought was pretty interesting. And for quite a while, it's been a little controversial. There have been complaints about bystanders. So WizKids changed something this week, and it was published. So bystanders in retail chase boxes. Hey, Mark. So retail chase boosters, they started putting bystanders in a while back, and those bystanders weren't normal bystanders. They were uber meta bystanders that were very sought after. Because of, I think that two things happened. You can call it a mistake, you can call it intentional. I don't know. I don't know if WizKids intentionally did it this way, or if they just didn't account for the fact of what it would do. It did put a lot of value into the retail chase boosters, so people had a dollar desirability, and I think that's what WizKids wants. I think they want people to want the retail chase boosters. But I also think that perhaps Dennis is here, and he and I have had this discussion. I think that perhaps they made too many bystanders. So like if you have 12 bystanders and you're only putting one in a retail chase booster, the distribution becomes kind of slim based on how many retail chase boosters are out there. And people are trying to chase down the sets. They're trying to chase down certain ones that they want, and it made the value really, really, really crazy. It's almost more worthwhile to just open up a retail chase boosters and sell everything inside value-wise than it is to actually sell the retail chase booster. It's real iffy. So anyways, I like the fact that they're desirable. I think that maybe they were overdone just a little bit. Like maybe it just, it was, 16 pogs, like Mark said, there's 16. I think that maybe they overdid it. I think if they would have made 4 to 6 pogs that were uber good like they are, that people wanted, I think that I think that the Chase retail booster still would have been very desirable. And I think that it would have been easier to collect and maybe kept the value still good, but maybe not like crazy good like they are right now as far as the pogs go. I think it's just the getting that many out was was a little bit more difficult than they thought, and so they made a change. We've seen something. I think it starts with X-Men. I believe it starts with X-Men. That they're changing the Chase retail boosters. They're pulling the bystanders out, and instead they're supposed to be putting 2 cards in there. So again, the conversation that Dennis and I had, I don't know if that really changes anything. Yes, it changes the fact that we're not chasing pogs, but we don't really know about the cards. Maybe those cards are uber meta also. Don't know. Not saying that they are or not, but maybe they are extremely, let's see, distributors haven't gotten their case exclusives or retail boosters for Spider Force. Mine still high. I got all mine, Mark. I got all of my Chase retail boosters. And I got my exclusives, so I don't really know. Good, George. Glad to hear you got the map in high, by the way. I got all of my stuff. So I don't know. I would be very curious, Mark, if you would tell me who your distributor is for your store, and I'm going to predict you're going to say GTS because that seems to be the distributor that's had the most problems of late in getting HeroClix. I don't. There's some kind of communication going on between. I don't know because I've had difficulty and I've had to reach out to other distributors to get some of the stuff that I needed. Um, so anyway, we don't know that we've solved. I guess what I'm trying to say is we've solved the problem of bystanders, but we may have a card problem now. We may not because we don't know what these cards are. We don't know what they're going to do. We don't know if they're one shots. We don't know if they are something else that we don't know what the cards are. I mean, it may be something that there may be an element in the game we haven't even seen yet. We just know there's two cards in there. And those cards could be just as rare as the bystanders. They could be just as valuable as the bystanders. And then all we've done is replaced one thing with the other. Could happen. Don't know. It also could be the other. It could be. It could be completely the other direction, and that these are just regular old Joe cards. They're not that big a deal, and nobody's paying any attention to them that much, and it's all becomes the focus of the chases and the figures in there. Don't know. We have to wait and see. And I agree, Mark. It's the balance of scarcity versus playability. It needs to be something desirable. I just think that with the bystanders, I think we had too many variations. I think that was part of the problem, and that's what has created the craziness going on. I want something to be valuable in there. I think if they just would have done, if they'd done a 25% less variation, I think you still have the desirability there, and there's just more out there. So that's my thoughts on that. I don't know that they should make another way of getting those bystanders. I've heard that too. Maybe they could be given out for battle royals and stuff like that. But then again, when you start doing that, then the value. HeroClix is a weird game. I mean, the value needs to be in the boosters. The value needs to be in the chase retail boosters. The value needs to be anything for people to want to buy it. I mean, it is. And singly, the figures need to have value. Desirability is what makes people want to buy things. But you can go too far that way. And I think the bystanders was too far that way. That's my personal opinion. Now, moving on. Have two per chase booster. Joseph, that may have been a solution. That would have been at least, that would have doubled how many are out there. We all agree. I don't know what the distribution of them should have been, but I think that we all kind of agree that the distribution quantity that they were putting out did not work. It was too far out there. So again, going to move on to something else now. Another thing that happened this week that was major, or somewhat major, I guess, is we had the new rule books be published, and we were told what some of those changes were. The most significant to me, I think, let's see, there was a couple of them, and they talked about them. One of them was that effective immediately, and I have questions because I was talking. I don't remember who I was talking to, honestly. I know who it was. I was talking to one of my guys here at McKean, and he was a little upset about the rule change. The rule change has been for objects specifically, where I'm reading something that Albert said. The other issues are showing up with the actual draftable boosters, with 12 boosters, it seems like. I will come back to that because I will come back to that, Albert, because I do want to talk about that. All right, so the other thing that's happened, again with the rules, is that on objects, any equipment, let me rephrase that, all equipment now, when a figure is KO'd, it drops where the KO is. I mean, where the figure in one of the, I guess the square that the figure was in, it's not, and the opponent doesn't score it. It doesn't come off the map. Um, the reason that was done is because I think there's probably going to be some interactions coming forward in future sets. That's very important. The wording is very important. Also, I have been in many tournaments myself, and you guys should have too, where people forget what to do with the objects, and they remove the figure, and the figure stays in the figure. They remove the object and the figure, and people forget about it because the object is generally not on the map. It's usually on a character's card or by the card, and it's very easy to forget to drop the object or drop the equipment, and then you have indestructible and anyway, I think that it created situations in games where people forgot to do that, or where there was like, oh, do I drop this, or people weren't sure, so that is now just everybody drops it. There was some questions about what happens when you have specific text on equipment cards, in even very recent specific text on equipment cards that says that does not occur, and what to do with the object. And I'm going to say that the WizKids will have to errata those things, but the way I read it right now is all equipment drops, period. That's what they said. So if you have something that says it goes to another character, like if you can assign it to another character, I think that would still would happen. But if you have things where it says the equipment leaves with the character, and it's not scored by your opponent, I think now the equipment is going to just simply drop. I think that's the situation that we're in right now. Also, that your opponent can pick up your equipment and use it. That's another thing, is that so if the equipment drops, they can equip it themselves and use it. Equipment can be destroyed. Of course, you usually don't want to destroy your own equipment, especially if it's got a point value on it. You might want to destroy your equipment if it had a 0 point value, so that your opponent can't use it. I mean, it opens up some different aspects. I told Dennis myself, that's a good question, George. I was thinking about that as I was talking. My personal preference, so that what George says, would it mean that it is still not scored if you forgot to drop it? From what I understand, George, is that it was scored if you forgot to drop it. If you remove the object from the game, and don't drop it, and that's a object that has point values, you do score those points, because your opponent is. I'm pretty sure that's how it. Maybe it's not. I think you're right, George. I think it's both people's responsibility, and nobody scores it. But that's why my answer would be different than what WizKids did. But I think that there's a reason that we haven't seen that's going to be coming up in the next few sets. But in my thoughts would be, I would have preferred them to go the other direction, and that you don't drop any objects anymore. They just simply get removed with a figure, and you do score them if there's points. That's would have been me. Based on the current state of the game, I think that that's just as simple as doing it this way. I would have went the opposite way. But again, I think that you're going to see the reasoning behind why they did this come out in the next 2, 3, 4 sets, something like that. Maybe, let's say two more sets. I think we probably see why one of the reasons why that ruling came about. So it's not that big a thing, but it is a change, and everybody needs to be aware of it. There's the first turn immunity ruling that they did, I think, is also very important. Players need to be aware of it. I think that if you don't know this rule, you can hurt yourself. So the ruling is that Before, if you come out of your, it's actually, I think it's a good rule. A figure can come out of its starting area and then back into the starting area and still have first turn immunity. For example, perhaps I want to TK a character out to pick up an object or to pick up, say, something like, or do something with like the telephone booth or what the heck ever. And I can now TK that character out, do my thing, and then that character can come back with it if he's able to or she's able to, via however, whatever they abilities they have. And if they end up back in the starting area, they still have first turn immunity. I think that's a good ruling. I think it's simple. I like simplicity. I like the fact that, hey, if I'm in my starting area, any starting area on first turn, I have first turn immunity. Simple. Boom. It doesn't matter how I did it or what I did, as long as it was legal to get back into my starting area. I've done it, and that it just makes. I think the ruling is simple, and there's no really gray area there. It's just if you're in your starting area, you have first turn immunity. Let me read here. Mark said, George, there's a ruling about that. If you forgot to place it on the map, then your opponent scores it because yeah, that's what I was thinking. They never had a chance to interact with it during the game. Then George says, yeah, but maybe making it explicit in the comp would mean that you couldn't score it anymore. The opponent forgets to drop it. I don't know. Like I said, I think that it's very easy to forget to drop an object when characters are out there because the object is not on the map and you get KO'd and you remove it. And I think it's very easy for both people to forget it. Perhaps making the rule to where all objects drop all the time will help. But again, I would have preferred the other direction, but I think that there's a reasoning behind that, and the other direction would have been just objects are always removed and they're always scored if they're scoreable. I mean, some objects don't matter because they're 0 points because the character meets the prerequisite and gets the object for free. And so that doesn't really matter a whole lot, but with the objects dropped, I think the only thing that matters there is that the player can't score anything on it, but he possibly could use it. I mean, he could possibly hit you over the head with it. He possibly could equip himself with it. I've had you guys tell me, I think out of 100 games, I've maybe had 0 to 1 game where I've seen equipment get dropped. So I'm talking about like 1% or less of the games I've seen where I've seen equipment get dropped and the opponent or even me pick it back up and equip with it. And the reason is most of the time when those things happen, it's at a point in the game that the actions taken to pick it up and equip with it are too valuable because you're in a fight and you're not wanting to take it's not worth picking up that object to do that with. You need those actions to be able to fend off and attack your opponent. And so I hardly ever see that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I know that it does. I just think it's a rarity, and depending on the timing of the game, it could be a bad thing to do that. I very rarely see anybody. I mean, I've sit there and I've looked at objects on there, and I'm like, damn, I want that. But then I'm like, if I take that, it's going to take 2 or 3 actions to do that, or it's going to take 2 turns. I got to pick it up, and it's just a little too risky. I see them picked up more often than I do actually being equipped. So, of course, now we have situations. You have characters that when they KO you or they do something, they take your object. So I think that would still happen. Yeah, there you go. Mark says the legacy collector needs equipment to be dropped. His whole secondary effect is to load up with dropped equipment. That's exactly right. Then Albert says only at the kitchen table during BRs, most people pick it up and break it for points in serious events. That's true, but sometimes even that requires too many actions, and you're just like, okay, do I KO this figure, or do I get my figure out of the way, or do I go over there where that object is at and put myself in harm's way, and then give the other team an opportunity. So it's just very situational. It does happen, but it just doesn't happen, I think, that often. Well, breaking it for points, I think, is a little harder now too, because because it's not, as George says, I break it for points, but there was a time where if you could do certain things, that you could just shoot it. You could shoot objects, but from what I'm understanding now is you can't destroy the objects that way. I mean, if they're destructible, yes, but most of the objects that are being made now are indestructible. So the indestructible objects you cannot just shoot. You have to do it in some form of action. You can pick it up and you can, I think, throw it at a character, or you can, I don't know if you can throw it at a wall anymore. I'm not even sure, because it's just something I haven't looked at. But you can, exactly, George, action economy is very important. But there are ways to destroy it, but it's not, you can shoot it. I mean, I've seen games won or lost by objects being left on the board or not being left on the board, where somebody would have destroyed it and it was enough points to win or lose the game, including some of my games that I've been in. And but you can't just shoot them anymore. I mean, it's not like you just, unless it's one of the older objects that is destroyable, you just can't just shoot them. There's most of them are indestructible, and you have to do a terrain destroy action, or you have to use it in some certain way, which usually generally most of the time means that it's a multiple. It's not just like, I mean, you can charge, pick the object up or pick the equipment up and then do something with it, but it's more difficult to do now than it used to be. So again, like, my answer to simplicity would have been that the object just comes off the board, then you don't have to worry about and the person scores it, and then you don't have to worry about remembering to drop the object, and you don't have to remember, and you don't get at the end of the game where, oh, you forgot to do this. Well, I didn't do it on purpose, but I guess you get point. I think that would have made, to me, I like the simplicity, but again, I think that there's a reason why they didn't adopt that way, and they went the way that they did, and I think that that's become clear again in the next few sets. Now, I think that's all I got for tonight. I think that what we need to do is we need to go ahead and jump on the auction and open up some boosters. You know, is it 8:54 right? What time is it right now? Yeah, I think anyway, we need to open up some boosters. I know everybody's waiting for that. And let's get that show on the roll. I did want to talk a little bit, but I think enough talking. Let's go ahead and open up some boosters. This is all the options of winning, and people are wanting their stuff. All right. Back on. While I'm doing this, I will bring up something. I'm going to go ahead. Nobody's called. Someone take these off. One of the things that I'm going to go back and talk about is the distribution on the bricks, and what was said. And again, I've had long conversations with specifically Dennis about this. So I was very concerned about when they went from the 10 booster bricks to the 12 booster bricks. And the reason that I was concerned about that is because even though the booster price didn't go up, the overall brick price went up. And I was concerned that by raising and getting the bricks up to above $200, that was going to impact the player. You guys, me as a player, when I'm have to buy bricks, and that it was going to make it too expensive, or getting to the range where it was too expensive for players to buy. Again, even though technically the booster prices are still the same. So we were told, and I specifically asked WizKids, I'm like, I expressed that concern, legacy card into the prize pool, and I'll put some more stuff in here in just a minute. I was concerned about that, and that it might affect overall would affect brick sales and make things very difficult. We were told, I was told, that the bricks were going to have more stuff in it. You know, it wasn't given specifics, but that there was going to be more valuable things in the bricks. I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, and you're buying a brick, you're paying the same booster price, but you have to buy basically 2 extra boosters, and you're actually getting two more things. Maybe you're getting 2 chases in a brick. Maybe you're getting, maybe you've got a guaranteed prime. Maybe you've got, maybe you're getting more super rares, something along those lines. Then that would be okay. And I'm like, okay, fine. So what happened is that we've had Collector's Trove and Masters of Time since that was announced. And those kind of skewed everything because we couldn't really tell what the distribution was and what everything was going to be as far as the set goes. So, hold on, don't want that. I want this. I don't know why that's out here. There we go. What is the day? The 15th? Yes. So this is the first set that we have. January, February, March. Sorry, guys. Gotta make sure I put the right date on here. This is the first set. Spider-Verse is the first set that we've seen with what the distribution is going to be. So I opened up my bricks and I looked at the ratio, and I immediately reported to WizKids something that was very odd to me. And what was odd to me, all right, so what happened, I opened up all the bricks that I had, and there's 1 chase per brick, okay? Which is what we kind of want to see. We'd like to see at least 1 chase per brick, okay? So that's a good thing. So that part's good. That's been pretty much what we're seeing, I think, most of the time anyway. But I have seen sets where you're getting one chase per case on average. So it's getting the one chase per brick. I think that was a good thing. But we're only getting 3 super rares per brick, which is the same thing we got before. And then we are getting one. I didn't see any difference in primes that were being given out. So in my mind, if I buy a lot of bricks, so like if I'm buying 60 bricks, let me rephrase that. If I buy 50 bricks, what I did is I toned down my order to 40 bricks because it's the same amount of boosters. But I'm anticipating in 40 bricks getting what I used to get before, and I'm not. So if I buy 40 bricks, I'm getting 30 less super rares than what I did before. I'm getting prime wise, I think it's probably about the same. I don't really see a bit difference. And I'm getting 40 chases. And I don't think that the chases, I don't feel like we're getting more. I'm just gonna, that's the best way to put it. I feel like we're getting the same that we got before, and we're having to buy 2 more boosters to get it. And I don't understand that. And I've seen some people complaining. I think more people should complain. I think I don't know if it's getting to WizKids. I think some people are just shooting by it and they're not realizing what's going on. I don't know, but I personally do. I'm seeing less, and I feel like we should be getting 1 more super rare. I think we should be getting 4 super rares minimum in every brick. I feel like we should be getting one chase in every brick, and then I think that we should get and maybe maybe 2 to 3 super rares. But I think the super rares ratio should go up. The chase is okay, and I think you should get a prime um, at least. You know that the prime is tough. The prime is supposed to be hard to get, so maybe definitely one prime in every case, maybe one prime in every. Yeah, I think if everybody got one prime in every brick, one chase in every brick, and 4 super rares, I think everybody be happy. Something along those lines. But it's definitely not. It's definitely the other thing that I noticed is when I'm putting my stuff up. One thing that has changed, which I don't think anybody's talked about, but I can see because when I'm doing when I'm opening up bricks, I'm doing a sort, and I can see what you're getting almost as you're getting a bunch of commons just like we always did, but uncommons and rares are almost the same. You're just getting uncommons used to be something like this. I think you can see this on the camera. You used to have this many commons in a stack, then you'd have this many uncommons, and then you'd have this many rares. And what's happening now is you got this many commons, this many uncommons, and then that many rares. And sometimes I couldn't. It looked to me like I was having the same amount of rares as I was uncommons. So we are getting more rares, so to speak, but I don't think that's what everybody wants. I think that when people is expecting more, we're expecting super rares, and we're expecting chases, and we're expecting primes, not just rares. So I think that's a big change. Putting stuff in the bounty pile. I've got a Phoenix Buster that's going in. I've got a Mr. Sinister from Xavier that's going in. I've got a Deadpool Legacy card going in. I've got a Doc Ock from Battle World, Secret Wars Battle World going in. Let's throw in one more thing. I'll throw in this Supernova Galactic Guardians. And let's do it. Let's open up some stuff. Let me read this stuff real quick. Tell Zavy I said, hey. Hey, Zavy, how you doing? That's Dennis's daughter. Albert says it's buy more and get more bulk right now. It's needs better distribution on seniors and primes. 1 prime per brick. That's fine. Maybe some lucky bricks with 2 chases. Yes, I agree. I wasn't answering because I wasn't reading. Tell her I miss her. I miss you. And we'll see you soon, I hope. Tell your mama that you want to go to Huntsville. Every day when you get up, I want you to tell your mama that you want to go to Huntsville and see Uncle Howard. Okay? Every day. That's what you have to do. Tell your mama. Dennis is already ready to go, but you need to tell your mama. Tell Stephanie. Tell your mama that you want to go to Huntsville and see Uncle Howard. All right, guys. We got booster number 1. We do need to name our. I'm sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. I'm getting excited about talking to my niece, and so let's pick out a super rare. So first 2 nominations on a super rare. Last week we had a really crazy thing. Good, you tell her. I'll remind her every week. But we had somebody end a streak last week. Normally Nicole is able to pick the super rare, and she was confounded last week and had a bad week, and she wasn't able to pick the super rare. So Web Slingers are my first nomination. I need some more nominations, guys. Web Slinger. What else we got? Superior Octopus. That's the first 2. I need those seconded, or I need something brand new. Somebody's typing over here. Come on, guys. Need a second one. That's actually a good pick. I've seen Hypno Hustler quite a bit. So I need somebody to second nominate Hypno Hustler, Superior Octopus, or Web Slinger. George, what do you think it's going to be? Jump in there, George. Albert, come on, guys. Pick a figure. Need a super rare. We got people. My hands are shaking. I got to open a booster soon. I've already got one halfway part there. Come on. Somebody, there we go. All right, Mark has switched his to Hypno Hustler. I think that's a good pick. I think we'll see one of those guys. I don't know if it'd be in this brick or the next brick, but I think the odds are pretty good we'll see one. All right, booster number one, underway. We have, hey, you're not supposed to see that. See, I've gotten so used to having two people here that I can't even function solo anymore. All right, so I got a one-shot, assemble the team. I've got the Goon, a common, Mysterio common, Spider-Man 2099, rare, Inner Demon common, and we've got Mr. Negative uncommon. That is booster number one. Savvy said Superior Octopus. Well, we got Hypno Hustler. All right, booster number two. We do have 3 bricks worth of prizing at least for tonight, so hopefully somebody wins it. I mean, it doesn't matter to me if we give it out every one, or every time we do a brick, or if we do it, if it's the same amount of prizing. Although I gotta say, I like it building a little bit, but it's gotten silly sometimes where we've had to use multiple places to put stuff. All right, so Mysterio, common, Norman Osborn, uncommon, Goblin Army, common, Firestar, rare, Ghost Spider, common. Nicole said Superior Octopus, but she waited too long. Nobody can capitalize on your psychic abilities, Nicole. She also said she's sick. What's wrong with you this week, Nicole? You got a cold, or what you got? All right, so now we're going into booster number 3. Okay, we have Tombstone, uncommon, Spider-Man, common, Glider, rare, Inner Demon, common, Mysterio, common, and a one-shot. Your one-shot is Web Swinging. Booster number 4. Booster number 4. We haven't pulled any money pieces out yet, so they're coming. People that have later numbers are getting excited, or maybe mid to late numbers. So this is a quarter way through the brick. We got one shot, Spider Totem, Iceman, Iceman common, Dr. Kirk Connors common, Man Mountain Marco common, Spider UK rare, and the Lizard uncommon. The Lizard's pretty fun to play in a battle royal. He does damage and he's hard to kill. You can spend a lot of energy trying to kill him. Number 5. Got a cold? Well, I hope you feel better. I think we maybe have something here. Maybe. Not sure. Let's see. Yep. All right. So this is our first hit for the night. This is number 5. So who's got number 5? If you do, speak up, please. Number 5. Let's see if I can find it. 13. Yep, there it is. McCoy. You around, McCoy? McCoy's won a few times. So McCoy has got the first big hit. I don't know where you're at. If you are, you'll hear this later. I mean, if you're not here, you'll hear it later. You got Spider Bite, common. You got the Lizard, uncommon. You got Web Swinging, one shot, Gwen Stacy, uncommon. You got Man Mountain Marco, common. And you have a chase. Your chase is Spider Biodroid. So that's our first chase of the night. Now we're moving on to number 6. We still have at least 3 super rares in front of us, possibly a prime. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, not what I thought it was, but it's still good. So we get to answer the last part of that question. Sometimes there's more than one in here. Yeah, okay. All right. So somebody's got another good one. So we have 2 hits in a row. We got Goon common, Ghost Spider common, Scarlet Spider uncommon, Stunner rare, and you have Dr. Octopus prime. That's a good hit. When I first saw that, I thought it was going to be the Superior Octopus because they look the same to you when they're wrapped around the bubble. I wasn't sure. I thought it was going to be Superior. All right, so number 7. We still have 3 super rares left. Could be a hit, no hustler. Oh, how about this? How about this? Huh. This is a pretty good break, guys, I would say, so far. So somebody else has got a hit here. This is going to be number 7. We got a Spider-Bot common, a Dr. Kurt Connors common, Mysterio uncommon. You have Lady Stiltman super rare, and that's our first super rare. And you also got a prime. You got Craven Prime. So in this brick, we've gotten 2 primes, 1 super rare, and 1 chase so far. We're supposed to have 2 super rares left. Number 8. All right, number 8. You got Spider Cat rare, Spider-Man uncommon, Goblin Army common, Spider-Man Nor common, Spider Clone common, and that's it. 4 left. Going on to number 9. We still should have 2 super rares left. Number 5, number 9, I'm sorry. I was reading the thing. Oh. We now have 1 super rare left, unless we got a real lucky rare booster. So I've got Spider-Man Nor, common, Spider-Bite uncommon, Iceman common, Tombstone uncommon, and you got a Spider-Ham super rare. Number 10. Number 10. Number 10. Fun figure to play with that's in this one. All right, so you got Slide uncommon, Spider Bite common, Ashley Barton rare, who's pretty good, Black Symbiote is going to be played a lot, common, and a Spider Bot common. I think the symbiotes we're going to see a lot of. They're really fun to play in sealed and battle royals because you just basically run them up and dare somebody to hit them, and you have to hit them sometimes because you only have super senses and they got stuff that can hurt you, and you have to knock them out of the way, but you don't want to, but you do anyway. So number 11. We still should have 1 super rare left, and looks like it's going to be in the very last booster, maybe. Unless I missed something. All right, so you got Scarlet Spider uncommon, Red Symbiote common, Iceman common, Spider-Man common, and you got a rare Moreland. Now maybe that super rare prime counted as a super rare. Maybe there's not another super rare because technically we've gotten 3 super rares, one of them being a prime, and then we got a rare prime, and we got a chase. So maybe that's it, but in my mind, there should be another super rare here. So we're going to go back to the first answer. The first answer was the prime super rare counts as a super rare. Okay, I don't really like that. I don't know how, that's part of my problem here that we were just discussing. So Spider-Man common, Spider-Man 005 common, Spider-Man 001 common, Spider-Man uncommon, Spider Clone 012 and the Spider 030. You got a Spider booster. I should have just led with that. Okay, that is the very first brick. Let's see what we can do. If we can do as good or better on the next one. Let's add some stuff in. I don't know what legacy card, what tarot cards I've got in there, so I'm not going to add any of those. I do have a bunch of cool stuff up here. We're going to go, I've got an L.E. Thor. This is from Avengers Forever. No, what was that set called? I don't even remember. I can't even remember. It's the one, it's Asgardian themed. What was that set? Was it? Anyway, we got Sheriff Gia Whitechapel from Storyline. That set I know. And we got a Cyclops from Regenesis. And let's go over here and let's add in a Spider Queen from Battle World, Secret War Battle World. Let's add in a Iron Man from Earth X. And we'll add in one more. Oh, this is interesting. Let's add this in. We'll add in a Warbird. It's an unpainted figure. Brand new and sealed, so we'll add that in also. And let's get the next brick. Of course, we got to add in our legacy card. War of the Realms. There you go. I'm glad I keep Dennis around to remember things I can't. All right. All right, mix these up a little bit, just a little bit. And we'll start number. If you're joining us late, our bounty figure is Hypno Hustler, and I think that we're going to get it. So 13. The first brick was a pretty good brick in my opinion. If we do that good again, that's a good night. But I think it points out to me what we were talking about before in the distribution of, we just expected WizKids, what we were told was going to be the way that it was. And it's not quite the way we thought it was going to be. I honestly wish, I know why they don't do it in case there's screw ups, but because they can't guarantee what's in them, but they do know what, I know that they know what it's supposed to be. They have an idea. They have to tell the distributor what they want in each one of them. They just won't publicly say that's what it is. And again, I understand that, but it's kind of like a secret handshake. We know what's supposed to be there, but we can't talk about it. All right, we're going to number 13. All right, we are looking for a Hypno Hustler, and we are looking for some good stuff. All right, number 13. me do something real quick. There we go. And let's. Good. Just, by the way, if you guys are, I would appreciate it if you do go to YouTube, and if you haven't already, back us up on YouTube and become a member or whatever it is that you can. Be a follower, and that way we're developing a following very slowly. Glider rare, Tombstone uncommon. We have Inner Demon common, Spider-Man 005 common, and we have Web Slinger super rare. Somebody tried to name that as the bounty figure, so we should have listened. All right, number 14. We have Dr. Kurt Connors, common, Man Mountain Marco, common, Spider-Man uncommon, Gwen Stacy uncommon, and we got a Canon event. We do have our first hit for tonight, or for this brick. Who has number 14? Let me see if I see it. 14. That is Mystery Dude. So Mystery Dude, congratulations. You have a Chase Vulture. I haven't really looked at that Vulture that well to know if he's good, bad, or anything. It's one of the ones that he's kind of a silent chase to me in a way. I don't know if he's good or bad, but he is a chase, and you got him. Good deal, Mark, good deal. Number 15. Mark won the chase. All right, we got a rare Firestar. We got an Iceman common, a Mysterio common, a Red Symbiote common, and a Spider Bite uncommon. Number 16. We have a Goon common, a Mysterio common, a Venom uncommon, a one-shot web swinging, a Stunner rare, a Slide uncommon. We have a number 17. One of these were heavier when I picked it up a little while ago. You guys may have seen me look at it a little funny. How about that? How about that? Who has number 18? I need to know who has number 18. 18. 18. Speak up if you have 18. It's probably you, Mark, huh? My list doesn't show 18. It doesn't show everything. I have to go. I don't want to have to go to the cell. So if you got 18, speak up. Anybody? You're going to make me go back and look at the cell sheet? I guess you are. Let me look at it real quick. Back. Cells. Okay. 18. Let me find 18. 18. There it is. Jasperado. I know that guy. I don't know if he's here with us or not. Jasperado, are you out there? Well, if you're not, congratulations. If you are, oh, there you are. He is here. He is. I guess you know George, huh? So both are from the Philippines, if I remember right. So, anyway, you have won the bounty, my friend. So you're going to get a big shipment of stuff. The I'm going to just cut straight to it. Hypno Hustler Super Rare is in this one. You also got a Martin Lee Uncommon, Spider Bot Common, Black Symbiote Common, and Inner Demon. So that's the bounty winner. I'm going to just put that up here to the side. And all I need to know is if you want me to open up your legacy cards or not. I'm going to just go ahead and put all this in this box. Keep it separate. Let me know while I'm doing this. Do you want me to open up? And you can see the stuff you won. I'm flashing across the screen. All right, so I'm going to open it. Then you got that. These are cards. You got a Ragnarok Surtur. I like this. I used to like playing with this guy back in the day. Got that. Bunch of legacy. There's some legacy cards. There's some tarot cards. There's another legacy card sealed. Get all this stuff in here. In there, and then the last legacy card. So we got 4 legacy cards, so it took 4 bricks to win this one. And let's see what we got. There's some good legacy cards in here. I think the Spider-Mobile, Madam Web, and the Spider-Girl are specifically good. And there you go, Spider-Girl. That's the one I think that she's really good. I think she's so good that I actually kept one for myself. Scarlet Spider. Third one, you got Spider-Mobile. So you got 2 out of the 3 that I said are good. Spider-Mobile is really, 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 really good. And number 4, can I maybe get all 3 of them that I said? Madam Web, is it Madam? Nope, Dr. Octopus. But that's good stuff. Congrats on that. Put this back down here, and we'll open up the rest of the boosters. Number 18. Number 18. I've lost track. I know we've had a chase. We've had no primes in this one. We've had 2 super rares, so we should still have at least 1 super rare and maybe a prime left. Spider-Man common, Ghost Spider common, Norman Osborn uncommon. Moreland rare, and then we have a common Spider-Man. So, would you guys, I already know how I feel about this. I would like to see that every brick that you open has a minimum in it, meaning that it's going to have at least 3 super rares, at least 1 prime, at least 1 chase. And then I'd like to have some random bricks that exceeds that, and or maybe 4 super rares. I think 4 super rares should be in a brick now. So and then every once in a while, maybe there's a 5th, or maybe there's an extra prime, or maybe there's an extra chase. To keep it a surprise. I think that if that happened, I think that we would be happy. Would you guys be happy with that? Or would you rather every brick have not the same, but the same ratio? You're going to get 3 or 4 super rares, guaranteed 1 chase, guaranteed 1 prime. Would you rather see all bricks be kind of equal, or they all be a minimum with some randomness of maybe getting lucky? I like the randomness. I like a minimum with the randomness myself. What do you guys think? All right, so we're on number 19. No thoughts there? All right, Spider-Man Nor, common, Spider-Man uncommon, Spider-Clone, common, Spider-Man 2099 rare, Spider Bite common. Would you like, Dennis, for occasionally there to be more? I mean, just randomly where you don't know exactly what's in there, but maybe you get a fifth super rare sometimes, maybe you get two chases sometimes, but the what you just said as being a minimum, or would you just like it to be that way all the time? Number 20. Uncommon, Spider Bite, rare, Spider Punk, Goon, common, Spider-Man, uncommon, Canon Event, one shot, Ghost, Spider, common. Number 21. Be that way all the time. I like to see that. I'd like to see be a minimum with a surprise, and every once in a while you get a God pack, or every once in a while you get an extra chase, or just something to like that makes you stand up and shout. You know, like, oh my God, I got the great brick. All right, so now we're gonna do Ashley Barton, rare, Scarlet Spider, uncommon, Spider-Man Nora, common, Iceman, common, Spider Bite, common. This was number 21. Number 22. I think what you're saying, Dennis, that is acceptable, but I would still like to have a little bit more excitement. I think this is the heaviness, the heavy one that I picked up a little while ago. And I think it's just because he jumped out of his hole into the other side and it's making one side heavy. So we have a Spider Cat, rare, Bedlam, uncommon, a Goblin Army, common, Spider Bot, common, and we have another super rare Kangaroo. Yeah, I agree. That should be the minimum. But I think that I'd like to see the minimum, and then I'd like to see a little bit of randomness above that, so that there's a surprise sometimes, and you get excited when you get a little bit more than what you were counting on, and that's what I think. But if we just got the minimum, I think everybody would be happy. I mean, you would kind of know what you're supposed to get. All right, so then we got one shot, Assist from Another World, Norman Osborn, uncommon, Man Mountain Marco, common, the Spider, rare, Goblin Army, common, Spider-Man, common. That was number 23. Last one for the night. I hope it's not raining. We got a lot of bad weather headed this way. It hadn't hit yet when I was outside. I'm hoping that it still hasn't hit. It's supposed to be kind of bad tomorrow, but you never know. So I'm just hoping it isn't raining, so when I go outside, I don't get wet. I'm a cat. I don't like getting wet. All right, Spider Clone, common. Spider UK, rare. Dr. Kurt Connors, common. Spider-Man 001, common. Spider-Man, uncommon. That's number 24. And that will be it for tonight, guys. I apologize for being a little bit late. Had a little bit of a problem tonight, but anyways, we will get back on track next week. Maybe Nate will be here next week. I'd get here a little earlier either way, and we'll get this thing going. I like the conversation. I like talking about some of the subject matter. I like participation. Would like to see some people start calling in and talking about some of these subjects, not just typing, but I'd love for you guys. Dennis, I got a question for you before I go, because I was wondering about this. So the number that you're calling is a Google number. I think that you can call that number, that it's not long distance. I think that you call that number from anywhere in the world and it's not long distance, but I'm not sure. It's a Google number, so you're actually reaching to me through Google on the internet, and I don't think that I don't think it's long distance. Could you tell me, Dennis, is that true or not true? Because I'd like to know that so I could advertise that to my buddies, say like in the Philippines that are here like almost every week, where they can actually call in, because I'm sure they don't want to talk to me and incur a long distance bill. Don't know if Dennis is still there or not. But I will, if he's not, then I will guess I will find that out. So I'm just gonna, looks like he's taken off and went to bed. He's got his daughter's been taken care of. I will find out that answer, guys. Good night, everybody. See y'all next week.